Breaking news we brought you at the top of the broadcast. We're standing by waiting an update from the Sacramento Police Department after there was a shooting involving officers in the Northgate neighborhood. Let's listen in.
6:45 p.m. Officers responded to reports of a subject with a knife in the 3100 block of Northgate Drive. Responding officers located the suspect with the knife, gave him multiple commands. The suspect did not comply with the commands of the officers and advanced towards officers armed with the knife. During that time, an officer-involved shooting occurred. Officers provided emergency medical aid to the suspect, and they were transported to an area hospital where they're in stable condition. This incident is being investigated by the Sacramento Police Department's Homicide Unit, Internal Affairs Division, and Professional Standards Unit. An investigation will also be conducted by the Force Investigations Team. This investigation will focus on policy, tactics, and training as it relates to this use of force. The Office of Public Safety and Accountability and the Sacramento County District Attorney's Office will be providing oversight by monitoring the investigation.
Justin, where did this happen on the school campus, and were there kids or any other school employees around at the time?
This incident occurred in the 3100 block of Northgate Drive. I do not have the information exactly where it occurred, though.
But on the campus?
I do not have that information at this time.
Are you able to say whether or not this individual was experiencing some form of mental health crisis?
I do not have that information. We have preliminary information at this time.
Do you know how many officers fired their weapons?
I know at least one, but I do not have the exact details on that.
Do you know how many times they were struck by?
The person was struck at least one time by gunfire.
Was this just a pocket knife or something bigger?
I do not have the information, but I do know they were armed with a knife.
In a situation like this, just generally speaking, officers obviously have tasers and other potential less lethal things. What do you think about when you go into a situation like this? Is less lethal an option when someone is brandishing a knife?
Well, obviously, every incident is different. But that is part of the investigation. That's part of the process that they go through as they look deeper into this incident.
But are officers able to use less lethal in a situation when someone has a knife?
Yes, we are trained, not necessarily when somebody has a knife. Every incident is different, and they have to analyze that and do what they feel is reasonable at that time.
Was the Sheriff's Department helicopter present as well, and were PA announcements being made to drop the knife?
I do not have that information.
Do you know how much longer you expect this scene to be out here? Will it affect elementary school in the morning?
I do not have that information at this time. Detectives are currently out here. They're canvassing the area and they're processing the scene along with our crime scene investigators.
Do you have
presumably schools have cameras. It looked like potentially some of the investigators were reviewing videos. Is that one of the things you do as part of your investigation?
Yes, that is part of canvassing the scene. They'll collect any available surveillance footage, and then they will review it.
Do you have any more information about the initial 911 call or what particularly was being reported from officers?
I do not. I only have information that we were receiving reports that there was a subject with a knife.
Are you able to describe the suspect? Was it a young man? Like, what can you say about?
I can say they were a male adult, and that is the information I have at this time.
Life-threatening or non-life-threatening?
They are in stable condition.
No officers were hurt?
And no officers were hurt.
Okay, you've been listening to a news conference. Very limited information just coming in about what happened tonight in the Northgate neighborhood in Sacramento. It was a situation near Stroud Elementary School. There was a call of somebody with a knife, a man with a knife, and officers showed up. And they say they wanted that subject to drop the knife. He did not. They say he went toward officers, and at least one officer opened fire.
Yeah, we know that that person was hit at least once with what appears to be a bullet there. We know that Sacramento police is monitoring this. They're continuing to process the scene, investigate this as well. They could not say if this happened on campus. Right now, we don't know a motive. We do know one officer fired their weapon. And again, that suspect hit by gunfire once. So the scene is still being processed, as Peyton still mentioned, and it's not clear right now if it's going to affect the school day of that elementary school for tomorrow.